right, I'm up here airport. I didn't work. I didn't come.
Okay, good afternoon. Derek Sangster, Councillor and Mayor of Black River. As you can see, we're gathered here this afternoon in Portsea District in Southeast St. Elizabeth, and more specifically in the Marsville Division. And the reason we are here is to have a consultation with Flo. Some personnel from NEPA should be here. I'm not sure if they have arrived as yet, and the residents of the area. And the issues regarding a cell tower which was almost completed prior to the start of the new year, last year. But during construction, objections arose from the citizens as per its construction. And the main issue, as I'm understanding, were the health issues, in that a cell tower in such close proximity to the many homes that are in the area would pose a health hazard. Okay? So when the complaints reached us, the Municipal Corporation issued stop orders for work was stopped, and this consultation was planned. And as you can see, Flo is here to see if some accommodation can be reached, if some agreement can be reached peacefully between the residents. There might be opposing views, but I will preempt what conclusions might take place at the end of the afternoon. The Municipal Corporation responsibility is really to do with construction. Anything to do with health issues would involve NEPA, Ministry of Health, and so on. So that depending on what outcomes this afternoon, then we'll have to see what further steps, initiatives would have to be taken in terms of reaching a resolution to the matter.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so Trishan is a member of the introduce herself, so you should.
Hello everyone, while we wait to begin, just to introduce myself, I know the other members of the team did. I'm Trishan Russell. I'm Manager Legal Affairs for Flo. So generally my duties involve just, in law we do a lot of mix of things. For the purpose of...
Good evening, Jamaica. My name is Mark Brooks and I live in this community. And far as I'm concerned about this thing, I want it turned on. And the reason for me to turn it on, right now, see my phone here, no service. No service on my phone right now. You can't call me and get me. I have 21 children in the street, 18 baby mother. And I do chef work, and when I forget a call, if I go to catering, I can't get a call. When me day home, I get some rest, I get calls, say, right, so work if I go done, no call, you don't pick up, no service. So as far as I'm concerned, I want it to turn on. Because I don't think that is so dangerous than this, because this radiation is enough for we care for everybody. That's in the ear, the tower of it turn on, so that's how we want to happen.
Microwave.
Yes. 1 second.
Radiation.
1 second. You can turn off a microwave on, off all day long. You use it when you want. You can't turn off a cell tower. That is within quarter of a mile of you. You can't turn the cell tower off.
Nothing dangerous like a microwave.
That's higher frequency than a microwave. That's higher frequency.
On digital expansion across the whole
We're all for that. We're all for
and a part of the process of doing that is licensing operators such as Flo and making available the spectrum over which we operate, and then having stringent quality of service that we have to comply with so that we serve the communities in which we operate. The reason why a site is being placed in your community is because after diligent assessment, it has been determined that the service quality here is not good.
True.
How does the company determine where to put the actual site? So it goes through a process of engineering to determine the precise latitude and longitude that will be the optimal positioning to benefit the community. Folks ask, where will the site benefit? the site benefits approximately within a 3-mile radius of its location. So, true, it's right here in Portsea. However, it's for a much wider community. So maybe
and we want that.
correct.
We want it.
So,
we don't think we don't want it. We want it.
fine. So the real issue, right? The real concern which we want to address now is really the concern about health.
Yes.
Hold on.
Can't I just ask?
Hold on. Let me just address it. So there was a question about, before we go to the health, because that's the main point, right? That's the core issue. But so I'm just let's just address another point that was made about process, about how people were approached and so on. So Flow would have complied with the regulatory framework. We would have been supervised, our work was supervised by NEPA. We did a survey, persons responded, it was very favorable. And on the no, please, just hold on, I will clarify. Just listen first, and allow us. So we would have followed the process, which is why we got a permit from NEPA and a subsequent permit from the municipal corporation to build. It is because of concerns from citizenry that NEPA paused the build. NEPA did not pause the build because of environmental concerns. The regulation, the Town and Country Act, provides that citizens' concerns must be listened to, it must be addressed. So there is no environmental concern about radiation. That's not why the bill was discontinued. It was because there was a petition, and that petition came through the municipality, went to the Board of Town and Country Planning Agency, and then they said, look, let's pause, have us come and discuss with the citizenry. So we follow due process. Now, the issue, let's talk a little about the health concerns. So there are a couple of things here. Introduced cell site in Jamaica. 1996?
97, somewhere there.
1997. The government licensed the use of spectrum, and we've had cell services since 1997. Across the entire island, I would hazard a guess that there probably is more than 3,000 cell sites deployed across the country, and we have no evidence, there's no use case of harm caused by them. Where I live in Red Hills in Kingston. I live in proximity to a cell site. The Kingston Public Hospital, there is a cell site on top of the hospital, and they are
When
on
was
top.
when was that put there?
Several years ago. So
Before
just
2002.
so let me just make the point. Let me make the point, right? Where we live, where we go to school, where we travel, if you have a cell phone, you have access to the service or the radiation from the cell site, which is harmless. You made a point which I want to address, right? Your concern is that the nearer you are to the site is the more exposed you are, and that is not correct. On several levels. No, let me address it. So let me address it. So let me address it, right? No, so let me address it. Let's discuss it. In the first instance, the tower is built at a height such that the radios that are attached to it, 3 feet?
Yeah.
3 feet dissipates. So the tower is how tall?
That looks like 30 meters.
30 meters high. So just the location of the tower alone makes it safe. And the height at which the radio is put, which is monitored and managed by the Spectrum Management Authority, other bodies, it's safe. The second thing that we must appreciate is that the nearer you are to the tower is the less power it requires to serve your cell phone. So in other words, the further you go away from the tower, is the more power is required to serve you. The cell phone that you are holding to your ears to talk is delivering magnitudes more, which is safe, magnitudes more than the tower. Although the edifice seems so impressive, it's so large, your hold on, your Wi-Fi modem, your cell phone, is emitting far more radiation, far more, which is safe, than the tower. So, as a practical matter, as a factual matter, the government of Jamaica has been responsible in allowing this service to be delivered across the country. The citizenry across the country, not just here in Portsea, but in Kingston, in Black River, in Mandeville, are being served safely. There are no incidents of cancer. There's no facts related to, after decades of service, not just, the use case is not even just in Jamaica. It's from America. Maybe you are from, have you lived abroad?
Yes.
There you go. In the in the UK, in the US, so it's known technology, it's safe technology, and what we're saying to you is that if it were to harm you, it would not have been placed there.
I know there is harm, it's us. It's a younger generation was getting them all the time.
The facts ain't fully, it's not clear yet to what radiation can do. There is no
When I was going to school, they used to teach me about coal, jump over moon, and dictionary spoon. I don't want that, because you know, they fool me when I go to school, they can't fool my kids now, because I want internet for my kids, that them don't fool them. I want proper internet that them can go to internet and have proper education for my kids. Don't talk.
My name is Melissa Miller. We really want the cell tower because our children are suffering from the internet, cannot get any internet connection, so we need the cell tower.
Councillor Leighton Smith, Mayorsville Division. We are presently in Portsea where we're having a consultation meeting concerning the Flow cell tower, where some residents are objecting to it, but majority of the residents need the cell tower. So Flow is just here to outline to them and to tell them how, if any at all, any danger concerning the tower towards people's health. And they are explaining that now to the residents. But if you look into the crowd, you will see probably just about 6 or 7 or even up to 10 persons objecting against it. Majority of the persons wanted the cell tower. And the cell tower have a radius of 3 miles, which is very helpful because we have 2 schools within the area and that radius of 3 miles. Red Bank Primary and Morningside Primary, who will benefit from the cell tower for children who are going to school, who are using their tablets. So it's a good initiative, and I hope and pray that after this consultation, everything will go smoothly and the tower will be turned on and people will start getting the service from the tower.
Apologize for being late and just meet. We have to meet again and look at the whole matter. Hello.
Good night, everyone. Good night, sir. Right, so let me first apologize for being a little late.
Alright.
Hello, sir. TV.
The purpose of this meeting.
Don't hide your face, man.
The purpose of this meeting is, as is customary, to hear the views and the feedback of the citizens regarding the proposed development. The concerns that are raised, we wanted to hear what are the on the ground, first on the concerns that are raised by the citizens in respect to the proposed tower, as well as those that would support. Now, clearly in this environment, we won't be able to make a rational decision because as present now, they are deciding, they are opposing views. So clearly, we would have to discuss with the provider as well as with the municipal corporation in terms of the way forward. As regulators, we want to be objective, we want to be fair, and we want to be transparent. And that is why this meeting was planned and discussed, so that we can have a reasonable discussion. The intention was really for it to descend into this sort of, right, is to have a rational discussion of engagement.
That was being done.
Right. So, clearly, further discussions will have to be had with respect to the tower. That's all I can say.
As quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible.
And the tower is on the position right now.
Just we go turn on.
Mr. Lepa, let me ask you one question.
Before
Before you go. Listen. Mr. Lepa, good evening. My name is Mark Brooks, sir. And I am concerning, I am a citizen of this community. My house is just across the road here. Right across the road. Right? I am saying to you, I have so many children doing schoolwork. You know there was a meeting from last week that postponed. Then the meeting come to this week. Are you still come here saying this, that we have to meet again? What purpose are you coming here now? Yes. We don't want the next meeting again, Mr. Nepo. We don't want the next community meeting. And you must be warned. And me, my folks, is warning you that we don't want the next community meeting in this community. For the power to turn on, is either going to decide that at the office and get the thing turned on so that my children can have access to his schoolwork. I mean, don't talk on that final.